On this episode with Dan on the Street, Dan meets up with Wagner College Business School's very own Aarti Ivanci. Next on Dan on the Street.
We're about to meet Dan on the street, yeah. D-A-N, Dan on the street, yeah. Talking anything with Dan on the street, yeah. D-A-N, Dan on the street, yeah. 10314, just knock on Grace Foundation's door. If you really want to meet Dan on the street, yeah. Dan on the street.
And joining us today is Aarti from the Nicolais School of Business at Wagner College here in Staten Island. Also joining us from the Dayhab crew is Jenna and Rachel. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Dan. How are you?
Good. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Why don't you start by telling us a little bit about how you ended up here in Staten Island?
Fantastic. So I'm from India originally, but for the last 16 years I've lived in California, most recently in San Diego. I'm a faculty member. I got a wonderful opportunity to be the dean at the Nicolais School of Business here at Wagner College. So I took the entire family, moved them from Southern California to New York, and this is the first time we've ever lived on the East Coast, and we're really enjoying it.
Great. Well, welcome. So, Rachel?
Can you tell us about yourself and your family hobbies, things you find enjoyable?
Thank you, Rachel. So I have two kids. I have two children. I have a almost 14-year-old Oliver, and I have a 10-and-a-half-year-old Simon. Both of them go to school on the island, and my husband has his own business and he works from home. I like doing a lot of things. I feel like I don't have enough time, but my favorite thing to do is paint. So whenever I have a moment, I will paint whatever I feel like painting. Not people. I don't like to paint people, but I'll paint I don't know, clouds, sunrises, sunsets. That's the thing that makes me really happy.
As we know, since 2019, the business world has changed. Zooms, remote learning, work from home. What advice would you give your students with regards to our new normal?
That's a really good question. I always tell my students to take time for themselves. I tell them that they need to be focused, they need to take things slowly. Zoom and online learning, I think, has a lot of benefits because it can be flexible, but it also can be very overwhelming to students to sit in front of the screen. So I always tell my students, take a little break, go outside, enjoy the weather, come back in. I do think that online learning offers a lot of flexibility to students, but it is challenging. But I also tell my students always be resilient and kind of don't give up and just work hard and keep putting your best foot forward.
And now Wagner has one of the prettiest campuses on the island. When was the campus founded?
The campus was founded, good question, in the late 1800s, I believe, and we've been there. We've got beautiful older buildings, and so the red brick and some of the nice houses. Beautiful view from campus. You can see the city from some parts, you can see the Verrazano Bridge. I've always found some tiny little spots on campus that are just very calming. It's nice to be able to sit outside with students and have conversations. So overall, it's been a good experience. Enjoying the campus a lot.
It's pretty over there. You get to see it in a lot of different movies and settings and things as well.
School of Rock, I believe. School of Rock was filmed outside Main Hall. I had no idea until I interviewed for my job that that was what it was, and that was one of the first things they told me on my job interview, which was kind of really cool. So.
You are the dean of the Nicolais School of Business at Wagner College. Can you tell us what the Nicolais School is?
So the Nicolais School of Business has both undergraduate and graduate programs. So at the undergraduate level, we have majors in marketing and accounting and finance and management. And at the graduate level, we have an MBA program. We are the only MBA program on Staten Island. No other college on Staten Island has an MBA program. I think core to who we are, we want to really prepare ethical business leaders. We want to prepare data-informed decision makers. Really, I think at the core of it, we want to prepare really good people who want to give back to the community, people who want to give back to society, so ethically and socially responsible individuals. In the business school, we also focus a lot on hands-on learning, a lot of project-based learning. So how do we teach our students not just the material in the classroom, but how do they take that material, how can they apply it. So we're doing a lot of projects with smaller businesses in the community on Staten Island where our students are getting the chance to actually go through and apply what they're learning in the classroom to those business projects. We've been around for a long time, but we're in a really exciting time right now because we're in a growth phase. We're making a lot of investments into our students, into our faculty, and just making our programs more relevant to the business world out there. That's changing.
You had come from San Diego where there is nice weather all year long and the people move a bit slower than here in New York. How was the transition to New York and the beautiful campus of Wagner?
Campus is definitely beautiful. The transition was hard. The gray weather after a while gets to you. I'm used to sunny and 72 almost every single day of the year. It's also very hot and humid here. I will say what's been the best, the people have been the best, particularly at Wagner and also the Staten Island community. Everybody has been really welcoming, so that's made the transition easier.
California pizza or New York pizza?
Oh man, that's hard. I think they both have their merits, so I'm not gonna say one or the other, but I do think New York pizza is better.
Any closing words or thoughts that you'd like to share?
I'm grateful to have this opportunity to talk to all three of you. Thank you. Please get engaged with the business school and with me. We're an amazing group at Wagner, and we really want to give back to the community as much as we possibly can. We want to reinvest in the community. So please be in touch, reach out, and thank you again for this opportunity.
Online, the best way to be able to find you?
Online, the best way to be able to find me.
All right, well, great. Aarti, thank you very much for joining us today. So Jenna and Rachel, thank you for also being great co-hosts, and that's Dan on the Street.
You're welcome.